So let's talk about a team that won yesterday, a team that is fun to watch, and that is the Indianapolis Colts, led by Gardner Minshew. And Anthony Richardson is their starting quarterback. He's a rookie, looked great. Colts fans should be very happy with how he has looked. But then he went down, and it was like, okay, Gardner Minshew's coming in. He's been a starter in the NFL before. Let's see what we got here. And then Jonathan Taylor was injured, even after his contract extension. So you're running with Zach Moss and Gardner Minshew. Jonathan Taylor's out for a few weeks. Zach Moss has been a very viable backup. He's been great for the Colts. Titans kept it close yesterday. They went into overtime, and there was a question of, are the Titans about to beat the Colts? And the answer for a while looked like yes, Will Levis was going to succeed. Then they would go into overtime, and Gardner Minshew throws a beauty of a pass to Alec Pierce, someone who not a lot of people have paid attention to because he didn't have a huge rookie season. He struggled. He's struggled a little bit this year, but he's also been behind Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs. Beautiful pass. Like, go look up this pass. He put it right where it needed to be. I don't even think he stopped, but he got taken down at like the 5-yard line. And it was what you wanted to see in that situation. Then Michael Pittman Jr. gets a beautiful touchdown in overtime to win the game. And Gardner was hyped. Gardner was screaming. That is the guy who I want as my quarterback if I am Jim Irsay, if I am Shane Steichen, and we're trying to win some football games here. I don't think anyone is talking about the Colts right now outside of the Colts fandom. I don't think anyone thought the Colts could make a playoff run, and we've mentioned it a few times. And the Titans aren't phenomenal. They have a losing record, and they have a rookie quarterback. Derrick Henry got a concussion. Like, there's all sorts of excuses you can make. But I loved what I saw from the Indianapolis Colts, and I think that they could make it into the playoffs. Maybe not win the division, because Jacksonville is going to be hard to beat for that division. But the Colts' schedule coming up, you have the Bengals, who we'll see what Jake Browning looks like tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's a winnable game for the Colts, I think. And I'm a Bengals fan, as you can see. I like both teams, but I'm going to take the Colts on that one, unless Jake Browning just comes out and looks way better than he did last week. Then you got the Steelers. Steelers just lost Kenny Pickett, and he will likely be out for that game. He had an ankle injury, and TJ Watt also had some injury issues, so who knows what's going on with that. Minka broke his hand during the game and continued to play, so I don't know if they'll let him play next week or not. And we'll see what happens with that. But that could be a winnable game as well. Then the Falcons, who we just talked about, their defense is very hit or miss. They can create turnovers, but their offense struggles to do anything. So I think the Colts can win that game. Raiders, winnable game. The only game that they might struggle with is the Texans, who they have the same record as currently. So, yeah, they're both 7-5 teams. Jaguars are 8-3. The Colts could realistically win this division. They might not because of the Jaguars, but I think they realistically could. And I think they can make a playoff run. Have you watched the Colts at all this season? Have you seen anything?
I have, actually, mainly because of you. But when I look at the Colts right now, for me the big question is how is Gardner Minshew going to lead this team if he's in for the long run? Because I'm looking at him as a quarterback, and for me, I'm always so split on him. I love his personality. I love who he is as a player. Also, I love watching him, but I just don't know if he has playoff caliber. So my question for you is, how far is he going in the playoffs? Because I think the Colts are going to make the playoffs. I think they're definitely going to get a wild card spot. I could even see them, getting like 2 rounds, I'd say, into the playoffs. But I don't know how much further they're going to make it than that. What do you see as their cap for this team?
So here, the thing is, there's so many injuries in the NFL now. This season, this is the year to make a run with a backup quarterback. And Gardner Minshew is a top-tier backup quarterback. I mean, if we look at the AFC teams, Chiefs, okay, we'll talk about this here in a bit, but Patrick Mahomes struggled last night. They don't really have receivers for him, and they had a ton of key defensive injuries last night. They're down to their third middle linebacker, Drew Tranquil, who another 260 guy, like Jesse Bates. I've seen him play since high school. I've always enjoyed watching him play. He's a great guy. He went down, concussion, so he's going to be out for a bit. Who knows how long? Bills, they're supposed to be this Super Bowl caliber team. They haven't really performed in the AFC. Who am I forgetting here? There's a big one.
Bills, Dolphins, the Ravens.
Dolphins haven't beat a team with a winning record. Ravens, okay, maybe Colts against Ravens, but Colts beat the Ravens in the regular season. I think Gardner Minshew was the quarterback. So, this Colts team can win football games. They are gonna be the underdogs in almost all of those playoff games, and I get that. But I think they can win, and I think they will find what.
Sorry, do you think they're winning the Super Bowl? What are the chances in your eyes of them winning the Super Bowl?
What are the chances? So that's hard because I don't know how legit some of these NFC teams are, and I don't know what version of the Colts will show up in the playoffs. They might not even make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to make a longer playoff run than people expect them to. Because this Colts team is fired up. They have something to prove. They haven't been this excited in a long time. And the fact that they're doing this without Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor, that backfield is going to be dynamic. Michael Pittman Jr. is going to get a huge contract. I think, can they win the Super Bowl? So I'm going to say no, because I think the 49ers are going to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC side, and I think that the 49ers can beat the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
If the Colts even make it to the Super Bowl. Because, Patrick Mahomes might do some of his playoff magic and win and make it to another Super Bowl. I just think people should be paying closer attention to the Colts when it comes to playoff contention.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
I'm high on the Colts. I want my Bengals to do well. I don't know if we're tanking. I don't believe in tanking, but I don't know if we're losing games for Brock Bowers or what we're doing here. But Colts are the only team I like that can really make a playoff run. Would be happy if the Detroit Lions made the Super Bowl too. 49ers, I'm good with as well. Really, I just don't want the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. That's kind of where I'm at right now with all the injuries. But Colts and Ravens AFC Championship game, if the Colts winning, would be awesome. That would make me feel very good inside. But don't sleep on the Indianapolis Colts. I think they've got something in Gardner Minshew as a backup. Thanks for watching that video, guys. If you want to check out a most recent full episode of No Buts About It, that's going to be right over here. Yeah, right there. Check that out. And if you just want to see more short clips, we're going to have one right over here for you to watch. Check out No Buts About It on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts, so you can listen to us on the go. Once again, have a great day and go do something nice for someone.